there are 4 different Assassin's Creed games coming up, 3 of which is going to be releasing this year, and then there is one big Assassin's Creed title, which is Assassin's Creed Infinity, that's going to be releasing in the year 2024. Now, speaking of the 3 different major Assassin's Creed titles, and the first one being Assassin's Creed Rift, where we're going to be playing as Basim, the Hidden Ones character that Eivor meets in Assassin's Creed Valhalla. And Ubisoft has said that Assassin's Creed Rift is going to be releasing this year, somewhere towards the end of holidays. We don't really have an exact release date though, but then they've already given us a release window on when the game could most likely be releasing. It's probably going to be on Q3 or Q4 of 2022, so that's already exciting because it's not very long before we get our hands on with Assassin's Creed Rift. Now, speaking of Rift, we're going to be playing as Basim here. Now, the story starts from an innocent boy who tries to join the Assassin's Creed Brotherhood, and there's not going to be much of Norse mythology here. It seems like Basim is going to be traveling to Arabic countries, and that's where the game is going to take place most of the time. And if you're expecting to see some story related to Loki and Basim, I think that's not going to be the case here with Assassin's Creed Rift, because Ubisoft has already told that they're going to keep this game much more linear and grounded, and they're going to stick to the old school Assassin's Creed types, meaning the Assassin's Creed 3, Black Flag, or Assassin's Creed Brotherhood itself. So these games are some of the iconic mainstream Assassin's Creed titles back in those days, which kind of stuck to the main storyline rather than just being an open world RPG title. So that's what Ubisoft is focusing with a smaller title called Assassin's Creed Rift, which was originally planned to be released as a DLC expansion for Valhalla, but then they decided that they could make more money by making this a full-fledged standalone title and also giving in some new gameplay features and a little bit more work put into this game. But nonetheless, the game is running on the same Assassin's Creed Valhalla engine, so you don't really have to expect too much of difference here, because the game is most likely just going to look pretty much the same as Valhalla and also plays and runs the same. But then the only difference we're going to be noticing is that the game is going to be much more grounded this time. It's not going to be super sci-fi or even fantasy RPG style. It's going to stick more towards the old school Assassin's Creed game. So we're going to be getting this at the end of this year, so that already is super exciting news here. And moving on to the next Assassin's Creed game that is going to be releasing this year is Assassin's Creed Nexus, which was recently just announced by Ubisoft, which is the first ever VR supported Assassin's Creed title, which means that you will be able to play Assassin's Creed Nexus with VR headsets and VR controllers. Now, there has been absolutely no Assassin's Creed games till date that has ever supported VR controllers or hasn't been made ground up for a VR title itself. Now, this would of course be very exciting. As far as what information Ubisoft has provided so far, it seems like we will be able to play as multiple different assassin characters in this game, but we don't exactly know on which characters we're going to be able to play as, or they're going to be some kind of new characters, or are we going to get to play as some of the old characters like Ezio, Altair, Edward Kenway. So we don't exactly have much information about Assassin's Creed Nexus as of now, but I'm pretty sure that Ubisoft is going to be announcing much more in the coming up Summer Game Fest, as well as the not so E3 Fest that's also going to take place this summer. So all of those informations will be available right there on the online events that's going to take place. And of course, my channel will be the best one to go ahead and find out all the upcoming open world games, informations, leaks, and stuff like that. So make sure to stick around, subscribe, and whatnot. And now moving on to the next one, Ubisoft has already announced that Assassin's Creed Valhalla is getting another big expansion, meaning another DLC expansion like the DLC 1, 2, and 3 that we already have. The recent one being Dawn of the Ragnarok. We're going to be seeing another one last expansion. Now, we don't really have an exact information on what this final expansion is going to be like, but as far as what we know, it seems like this is going to be the last one, and Ubisoft is no longer going to be supporting with more external DLC expansions and stuff like that. So 2 years of support for Valhalla is already great here, and Ubisoft has done a really good job with those things, even though they haven't really had a quality over quantity stuff. I think that they need to focus a little bit more to its quality stuff rather than just giving us huge quantity here, because that's one thing that Ubisoft is lacking behind with all the expansions that they've been releasing for Assassin's Creed Valhalla lately. So another expansion for Valhalla could also be seen this year itself, and it's most likely going to be releasing before Assassin's Creed Rift hits the store, which means that Ubisoft is going to need more time in order to market Assassin's Creed Rifts out there for sales, rather than just focusing on already existing Valhalla content here. So I'm pretty sure that they're going to be releasing Valhalla's upcoming expansion before Rift releases, and also with the release date of Nexus releases, it's also going to be releasing at the end of 2022, which means that we have a lot of Assassin's Creed titles and a lot of Assassin's Creed content which is going to be released this year. And moving apart from that, we are also going to be getting one of the biggest Assassin's Creed games, one of the biggest projects that Ubisoft has ever worked on, the live service Assassin's Creed title called Infinity, which according to Bloomberg's Jason Schreier is going to be releasing in the year of 2024, because Ubisoft needs a lot of time in order to work on this game. Because as far as the informations that we got from Jason, it seems like Ubisoft is putting in a ton of work. Nothing like what they've ever done with any of the Assassin's Creed games, especially since it's a live service game. There is going to be a ton of content, and also expect the game to be kind of a little bit more RPG styled, because that's what makes Ubisoft a lot of money, and also does end up selling a lot of skins that way as well. So microtransaction is going to play a very huge role here. And apart from that, Ubisoft has also said that Infinity is constantly going to keep getting more content as we move further on with years. And after Infinity releases, there is not going to be any standalone Assassin's Creed games that's going to be releasing here on. Every single new Assassin's Creed title is going to be added as an expansion or add-on, and the whole game of Infinity is going to be changed into a new season. So that's basically how it's going to happen. So I'm super excited to see what Ubisoft is working on with Assassin's Creed Infinity here, and I will of course keep you guys updated with every single information that you need about all the upcoming open world games, including all the information, the leaks and stuff like that is going to be firstly available right here on my channel. So make sure that you guys have clicked that subscribe button and turn the notifications on, because if you haven't done that already, then YouTube is not going to send you guys the notifications of my daily videos. So make sure you set the notifications on and set it to all, because if you don't do that, then the Bro Guys YouTube platform, they don't send you guys the notifications of my daily videos. So make sure you guys do it. And also, if you guys did go on and find this video helpful, if you did enjoy this video, I would absolutely appreciate it if you guys could just take a couple of seconds of your time and please go ahead and drop a like on this video, because as a content creator, it does help out a lot to my content. So your support is very, very much appreciated. With that being said, lads, I hope you guys have a wonderful rest of your day, and I'll see you guys in tomorrow's video. Until then, take it easy, fams, and goodbye.